Hello and welcome to the Federal. Pranab Mukherjee, the 13th President of India, who stepped down in July 2017, was one of the most distinguished politicians of India whose career spanned over 5 decades. He got his first break in politics when he was nominated to the Rajya Sabha in 1969, when he was barely 34 years old. He was a staunch loyalist of then Prime Minister Mrs. Indira Gandhi and called her his political mentor. In 2017, when a session of the parliament was called to bid farewell to him, he fondly recalled his association with Mrs. Indira Gandhi. In a book, he had said that it is she who made me out of nothing. Pranab had an impeccable knowledge of constitution and parliamentary rules and procedures. He had served as Deputy Finance Minister in Mrs. Gandhi's cabinet. Later, he was elevated. He had also served in various cabinets as Foreign Minister and Finance Minister and various other portfolios. To discuss more about him, I am joined by R. Rajagopalan, a veteran journalist whose career spans over 4 decades and has been tracking Pranab Mukherjee and his career closely. He had traveled with him a number of times within India and abroad and had extensive opportunity to interact with him. Uh, Mr. Rajagopalan, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Yeah, Mr. Rajagopalan, Pranab Mukherjee was known as someone who had exemplary memory of events and precedents. Some even call him walking encyclopedia. Can you recall any such incident where his phenomenal memory played a crucial role?
Very, very important things are there about Pranab Mukherjee. We miss him very greatly. His interactions with the opposition, especially with Advani and Vajpayee, and how he has been engaging themselves on parliamentary constitutional system and also quoting. For example, I recollect it is Mr. Pranab Mukherjee who briefed the then president, K.R. Narayanan, about certain lacunae of the opposition charges and how he guided Mr. Advani and Vajpayee in going to Mr. K.R. Narayanan. Similarly, when Shankar Dayal Sharma was president of India, it is the note on which Mr. Shankar Dayal Sharma depended on to dismiss certain type of theories what the opposition, then opposition, the BJP, was creating for Congress. So he was, as you exactly put it, Srinivasan, he is a walking encyclopedia and his memory is so sharp. That is why God has given him that blockade in his memory at the last days of his life. It may be a very, sad event, though Mr. Pranab Mukherjee was the right-hand man of Madam Indira Gandhi, Rajiv Gandhi, even P.V. Narasimha Rao, Dr. Manmohan Singh. So many personalities he has encountered during his span of 70, 65 years of his lifetime. His memory power is very short, and recalling that, it is the honor the day when he was given Bharat Ratna. I met him, and he was recollecting his old days. As in the introductory remarks you mentioned.
Yeah, what I do, Rajagopalan, I'll come to that. Let's start with a certain sequence. We'll come to Bharat Ratna and the issues surrounding that. One thing about Pranab Mukherjee is that perhaps he was always a man to whom the prime ministership eluded. He could never become prime minister, perhaps one post that always eluded him. Immediately after Mrs. Gandhi's assassination, it was expected that he would be elected as a prime minister because, you see, in the past, if you see the president when Jawaharlal Nehru passed away in 64 or Lal Bahadur in 1969, the senior-most or the person who was considered, the senior in the cabinet was made as some kind of a standing, an interim prime minister. But in this case, it was, relatively junior Rajiv Gandhi, who had no experience, was elevated to the job. Did it leave any bitterness within Pranab? Because there was speculation that he wanted to become prime minister. Is that true? Though he had denied that.
No. Many a times. In Hindi, in a chase Hindi, the Bengalized Bongo Hindi, he said, मेरा कुंडली में ये राशि नहीं है that I will become Prime Minister of India. That saying in English that it is not fit in his horoscope that he is going to get that lucky, fortune of becoming the Prime Minister. But that was in his mind, Srinivasan. He missed the Prime Ministership. He missed the bus 3 times. So it was his bad luck. What to do? And his memory of the missing of the prime ministership, 3 occasions, he has recorded in his book. One part was released. The another 2 parts are yet to be released, in which you can get a gleaning of what Mr. Pranab Mukherjee, how he missed it, and how that created bitterness with Rajiv Gandhi, Indira Gandhi, Sonia Gandhi, and even with Rahul Gandhi. The bitterness, it is many occasions, he has been privately also quietly sharing that Rahul Gandhi prevented him from becoming the prime minister in 2009. That is the anger he had. And when he was elevated as president of India, he also mentioned in the same hall, I would have been elected, as a prime minister, leader of the party, and I would have been sworn in as prime minister of India, like that. In a later chat with some few select newsmen, he used to share his thoughts, and I am fortunate I was one among them.
So what really happened, in all these 3 circumstances? I think first time you are mentioning in 1994, Rajiv Gandhi, though he was 1984, sorry, Rajiv Gandhi, after assassination of Mrs. Gandhi, that was one. Though he was a loyalist of Mrs. Gandhi. Later, he patched up, he went out of the party, came back. Then again, it happened in 2004 when Mrs. Gandhi, Sonia Gandhi, came and then came into Congress. And it is said that actually Pranab Mukherjee played a crucial role in the 1997 Calcutta conference of the party. He played a crucial role. But again, Manmohan became the PM. And now you're saying 2009, again, the same thing happened. Why was this?
2009.
Yeah. So why
2009 it happened. The focus is the policy matters, Srinivasan. He was not a leftist. The Sonia Gandhi, Rajiv Gandhi, and even Rahul Gandhi, they taken the left portion. And he is a centrist. Mr. Pranab Mukherjee has never tilted his balance, either left or right. Though he has been helping businessmen, there were charges against him that he was close to Dhirubhai and Mukesh Ambani, like that. But that is apart. His only one position was he is a true nationalist, true follower of the socialism and Congress culture of policies. But his fate had it. He did not toe the line of China. That is also very important, Srinivasan. Even during 1984, when Gyani Jail Singh suddenly sworn in Mr. Rajiv Gandhi as Prime Minister at the AMS Medical Institute type, then they rushed. At that time, I was at the Medical Institute, N.D. Tiwari and Arjun Singh, P.V. Narasimha Rao, they all proposed Mr. Pranab Mukherjee. But suddenly Gyani Jail Singh played a crucial role because Gyani Jail Singh was wanting to create an atmosphere in a fraction of a second. He called the Prime Minister and sworn him in as Rajiv Gandhi as Prime Minister. That was the trickiest thing. No one can explain except Sonia Gandhi, because Sonia Gandhi is privy to certain inside information and she should speak it out now. We have no more Mr. Pranab Mukherjee, right time, Madam Sonia Gandhi opens up because she's the only one connect between Indira Gandhi, Rajiv Gandhi, Pranab Mukherjee.
Pranab Mukherjee had an exceptional career as a minister in the Union cabinet for a number of years, for decades. He was in various cabinets as a very senior minister. But, if you look at closely, he was 5 times elected from Rajya Sabha and 2 times on 2 occasions he was elected through Lok Sabha. Why would he was never a mass leader or somebody who had a mass support. He was always someone who would be, managing things in Delhi. Was that his weakness?
No, the weakness has been that, actually he is not a mass leader. He is a bookworm. He is a very book rule person, in the sense he drafted many Congress manifestos, he drafted many Congress Working Committee resolutions, even the All India Congress Committee procedure, Srinivasan, he knew it at his fingertips. That is why he was called as a walking encyclopedia of Congress and also history. He will start to say, 5th October 1947, I had this, and 32 years later, like that, he used to recollect at his fingertips. To answer your question, Mr. Pranab Mukherjee was with 18 important portfolios he held. I calculated, Srinivasan, he was the first minister after Dinesh Singh as a foreign trade minister. Never India had that portfolio. After Dinesh Singh, Raja Dinesh Singh, it was Pranab Mukherjee who continued with that. Therefore, he was the best, ambassador, foreign policy material. He had, direct interactions with the foreign counterparts. Then he came as a finance minister. He was very, very considered a pro-rightist and also a pro sort of business persons. That is why he was hated by one section of left supporting the then Sonia Gandhi mindsets.
No, but despite the fact what you're saying, it's interesting that perhaps he is a person who played behind the scene and a very important role during formulation of both UPA 1 and 2, didn't he? I mean, in the coalition of regional parties.
Of course. It is Pranab Mukherjee who brought at least 5-6 major allies. For example, DMK. You remember when DMK withdrew support, it was Pranab Mukherjee who played a crucial role, called MK Alagiri to his room, and to assist Alagiri, it was Mr. S.S. Palanimanikam, who has been with Pranab Mukherjee as number 2 in the finance ministry, Minister of State for Finance. It is Palanimanikam who was for 10 years of UPA rule, Palanimanikam, Finance Minister of State. So therefore was considered close to Pranab Mukherjee. In fact, this obituary, even Mr. Palanimanikam is the right person to speak a lot about Pranab Mukherjee on files, on administration, on the procedural cabinet notice. These are all certain things which Pranab Mukherjee guided hundreds of youngsters, including Mr. P. Chidambaram.
There's another aspect I want to bring. So, the prime ministership eluded him at least thrice. But in 2012, he was elected as the president of India. Was that a smooth election? Even then, there was speculation that Sonia's hands were finally forced by Samajwadi Party leader Mulayam Singh and BSP leader Mayawati. What is the story behind that?
The story is that he was negotiating for a policy of nuclear deal, and he left opposed it. Yeah. To compensate that, he thought that the left MPs were 65 or 66. He can get that number from Samajwadi Party and Bahujan Samajwadi Party. That is why he was toying with that idea. He is the best calculator in his mind. If you lose 10, you can add 18 from there, so that you have 8 more. Like that, he used to calculate a lot. And to answer your question, it is Mulayam Singh Yadav who wanted in 2009 Mr. Pranab Mukherjee as Prime Minister. That was rejected by Madam Sonia Gandhi.
I would like to bring you to 2014. When Narendra Modi became the prime minister, with a massive majority. How has been his relationship with him? Though Pranab Mukherjee is considered out and out Congress sympathizer and was all along opposed to BJP's ideology, how did he establish his working relationship with the new prime minister?
Extremely cordial, and if you have that. For the first time, I can share with Federal only of the NDA elected Narendra Modi as the leader of the government. when he submitted his name, the Council of Ministers, when he met first time the President of India, immediately Pranab Mukherjee received Mr. Narendra Modi. You can see the audio clip of Doordarshan. He said, Narendra, Asun, you come, very good, welcome. And he hugged him. The reason being, I give political interpretation of that hugging is, enemy's enemy is my friend. Rahul Gandhi was considered total enemy of Pranab Mukherjee. I can share with your federal readers. And Narendra Modi campaigned Congress Mukt Bharat. Mr. Pranab Mukherjee was so enlightened, was so enthused to see Narendra Modi with full majority for the first time after 30 years. Mr. Narendra Modi, you welcome. After 30 years, you have been elected
as what's the reason for such a
Prime Minister with a full majority, single majority like that? He openly said that.
So what's the reason behind the soured relationship between Rahul and Pranab Mukherjee? What is it? Why are you saying that it was such a poor relation between the two?
You can recall that when he was at his finance minister's residence, Mr. Pranab Mukherjee's name was cleared by the Congress Working Committee as the presidential candidate of Congress and also UPA. When Mr. Pranab Mukherjee's name was cleared, lot of newsmen rushed to 12 Talkotara Road, where Mr. Pranab Mukherjee was residing for more than 22 years. In that house, 2.5 hours, Mr. Rahul Gandhi had a meeting with Pranab Mukherjee. Very top secret meeting. No one were there except these two. At that time, Rahul Gandhi was to be projected as a face of Congress and, lot of things. He was a budding prime ministerial material like that. But the policies of Mr. Rahul Gandhi was not liked by Mr. Pranab Mukherjee. That is the truth of it. And in fact, on many issues, policy matters, trade issues, financial aspects, external affairs like that. In fact, I am very, happy to share with you, with your readers, with your federal viewers, 2008, August 7th, when Sonia Gandhi entered into an agreement with Xi Jinping, where Rahul Gandhi signed it, you remember? That Pranab Mukherjee opposed it. Since then, the breakup started, Srinivasan. That is why Mr. Pranab Mukherjee was elevated as President of India.
Currently, I think that the issue, somebody attempted to raise it in the court only last week, that there was a agreement signed between a party and the Chinese government, which even the court expressed surprise. So
Mahesh Jethmalani, son of Ram Jethmalani, put a case in Bombay High Court. Supreme Court told him it's a very surprise. How can a party enter with a treatment agreement with the government of China? That Mr. Pranab Mukherjee opposed. In his book, he has written that, Srinivasan. So therefore, the difference between the Congress left-oriental approach and the Pranab Mukherjee's centrist approach clash.
So when you say centrist approach, was Pranab in favor of more that Congress party should veer more towards right, or what was his prescription? You're saying he differed with the
very frankly telling you, very frankly telling you, very crisply giving to your viewers, he was pro-Hindutva man. He was pro-Hindu man. We must not, go for vote bank politics. Whatever Advani and Vajpayee have been saying outside the Congress party, he was echoing in the Congress system. That is why he was totally sidelined, relegated. That is why persons like P. Chidambaram and others came up, For example, Ghulam Nabi Azad. For example, Anand Sharma. For example, Dr. Manmohan Singh. Why Manmohan Singh was propped up? Because of these reasons only. They understood, Mr. P. Chidambaram understood the mindset of Sonia Gandhi. He played to that politics, anti-Pranab Mukherjee. You remember in his room, finance minister's room, it is Mr. allegations where the Pranab Mukherjee wrote a letter to Prime Minister that my room was being bugged.
Yes.
by Home Ministry, Intelligence Bureau. They found one small cotton type of button. They suspected. In fact, Omita Paul, the private secretary to the finance minister, went on record. It is in the newspapers. I am not saying anything new.
Okay, the other issue is, which remained controversial, as an ex-president, he chose to visit the headquarters of the RSS in Nagpur, knowing very well that it would cause controversy. What was he trying to convey by going there? What was his message there?
The message which I told you a minute ago, Hindutva, pro-Hindutva aptitude. He said we should not be tilting towards minorities. We are 80% forward these Hindutva policies he was concentrating on. You remember, he used to go for Durga Puja in his village. And every year, as a president of India, also he performed his Durga Puja, which is known for Pranabda. So therefore,
wasn't that
he
more
was for minorities upliftment.
No, but wasn't that
he was
more
for
as
a minority upliftment?
No. Durga Puja wasn't that more a cultural event, and also practicing Hindu who would follow his
Bangla style.
more as a cultural event than indulging any. It wasn't seen as being pro-Hindutva or any such thing, wasn't that?
It has been a cultural event, no doubt, and he followed it up, connected with that. He's a great Sanskrit scholar. Can you believe? Mr. Pranab Mukherjee was a great Sanskrit scholar, and he has quoted many of the epics by his memory, and he quoted C. Rajagopalachari's Mahabharatam in Tamil and English later. He quoted one or two stanzas from that.
I wanted to bring you back more to Prime Minister Narendra Modi's relationship with him. You said they had a very good working relationship. Did Pranab Mukherjee is known as someone who has been dispensing advice to various people of various colors and shades. What was the kind of advice or help you think he could have given to Narendra Modi?
To put it simply in Hindi, what Mr. Narendra Modi spoke at a book release function inside Rashtrapati Bhavan, where Pranab Mukherjee was still present, and I can quote in Hindi, and I will give you the English translation also. मेरा उंगली पकड़ करके मुझे सिखाया है, Mr. Pranab Mukherjee ने मैं उनको साथ साथ चला है. He guided me on many policy issues. Even then in English, which I could describe it, I used to hold Mr. Pranab Mukherjee's fingers and walk the long path. That is the word by Mr. Narendra Modi. In front of Pranab Mukherjee, he mentioned, if you connect that and Mr. Pranab Mukherjee's visit to RSS headquarters, you can get an answer. These are all two pots. You have to join that pots, Srinivas.
Yeah. So finally, the 13th president was again, there was some kind of a controversy when he was nominated for the highest civilian award, Bharat Ratna. Why was that?
No, it was the government's policy decision, to award highest, decoration on Pranab Mukherjee for his, relentless services to the, India. He was, 85 group of ministers meetings he presided over, and he was GOM. At least he was the real prime minister, Srinivasan, during UPA 10 years. But he has the chair in South Block. That's all. Yeah, and most of the things were given to him. Nuclear deal, and bringing all allies politically. I'm telling you, the DMK walked out. It is he who brought them back. So he used to oppose certain opposition of Vajpayee and Advani. But Mr. Pranab Mukherjee had 2-3 persons cultivated in all political parties. He used to approach them through his, intellect. Like Arun Jaitley was the bridge between Pranab Mukherjee and Mr. Narendra Modi for the last 10 years. It is during Narendra Modi's chief ministership when Finance Minister Mr. P. Chidambaram denied the delegation from in Delhi to go to that investors conference. Mr. R. Gopalan was banking secretary, Tamil Nadu cadre IAS officer. He was debarred from going there. But Pranab Mukherjee intervened and sent Mr. Gopalan there. So therefore, this also inner details, Srinivasan, which provoked Mr. Pranab Mukherjee to revolt against Congress. In fact, he is a young Turk in Congress. Chandrasekhar came out of Congress as a young Turk, but Mr. Pranab Mukherjee fought Congress from within side. That is why he was not given prime ministership, and he was kicked upstairs like President of India.
Okay, fine. Finally, let's conclude. How would you have interacted with him, you have traveled with him on so many occasions. How would you like to finally describe him as a person?
As a person, the best parliamentarian India would have had, and he was the connect between the politicians and the bureaucracy. He used to interact, he used to draft a manifesto, Srinivasan, and he will implement it as a minister for finance or minister for external affairs. Every word of the Congress manifesto, he was in his memory. That is why he could be very bridge between the implementation part of any policy through bureaucracy. Therefore, he was a darling for bureaucrats. He used to encourage bureaucrats. He himself was described as a bureaucrat. Otherwise, he would have been ICS, Indian Civil Service. So the old IAS I am talking of, he mentioned in his book, you can read that. So therefore, I describe his loss is a very great loss to Mr. Narendra Modi, the opposition parties, and of course, third Congress, because he was sidelined in the Congress at the last leg of his tenure as minister in Manmohan Singh's government.
Okay. Thank you, Rajagopalan, for your perspective. Thank you very much.